New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
Hold on. I didn't mean to disrespect you guys like that. Here we go. Victory music. Let's go. What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from Nick of Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And guess what, guys? The Knicks just won Game 3 of the NBA playoffs versus the Detroit Pistons, 118-116. That is what I like. That's more like it, man. You have to get this W, man. First of all, OG Anunoby actually scored some points. He scored more than 10. Gave you 22 points, 2 steals, 1 block. OG is doing his thing. Karl-Anthony Towns, with the canine attitude, as I like to say, gave you 31 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a steal. Play that defense, Pat. McCall Bridges, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals on the night. Let's go, Mikal. Blocks too, Mikal. Behind, I love those chase down blocks. Brunson, gives you 30 points, 9 assists, and a block as well. Hart gave you 9 assists, 11 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. The Knicks forced Cade into 6 turnovers. They had 11 steals on the night. They lost the rebounding battle, though. They actually lost the points of turnovers battle as well, but the Knicks got everybody else involved. We made the right plays at the end and beat the Pistons. Let's go. And there's a lot to like about this game, and there's still a few things to clean up. But at the end of the game, we got the win. At the end of the day, we got the win, and that's all that matters. We're going to talk about it all, the good, the bad, the ugly. Before we talk about it, I'm going to introduce you to my guy, the Latin assassin, ESPN contributor, Bleacher Report contributor. My guy, Lee Escobedo. What's going on, Lee? We outside. Let's go.
We outside. Tim Hardaway, bum-ass Barclay, Avengers Doomsday, Knicks in 5, baby!
Knicks in 5, baby! Let's go!
Man, it feels good to beat Tim Hardaway Jr. and the Detroit Pistons. Tim Hardaway Jr., my absolute least favorite player in the entire NBA. Someone who's my actual in-person nemesis back when he played in Dallas with the Mavericks. Someone that I had multiple run-ins with. He actually told me to F myself one time because I was trolling him so bad. I love seeing him lose to my orange and blue. Special win tonight. Got home court advantage back. Tom Thibodeau coached his ass off. Can't wait to talk about it all.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to talk about it all, too, and I'm pretty sure you deserve it because you be trolling hard, but I don't care.
You damn right I do.
I'm happy we traded your ass twice. I'm sorry. Right?
Hell yeah. Better
we hired your dad and fired him. All right. That was a weird time when we hired Tim Hardaway Jr.
It sure was.
Senior in the coaching staff. That was a weird time.
It sure was.
Oh my gosh. Bizarro land. Oh man. But yeah, let's talk about it. First of all, Lee, a lot of the things that we been complaining about all season long, and even the last playoff game, we saw today. Like multiple things. One of the ball movement was a lot better in the first half. 2, the return of Brunson Cat pick and roll. Where has that been for like 40 games? All of a sudden, we're spamming it in the fourth quarter, and I'm just like, we're getting a good shot every time. We didn't even see it in the first 2 games. We had ball movement. We had other people getting involved. We had Brunson off the ball. We had trailing Karl-Anthony Towns 3-pointers. Everything we wanted offensively, we got today. And it's funny when you have all these offensive players and you're just like, oh man, we have so many pieces to do and we have so many ways to go about this. Sometimes you can outcoach yourself and just coach yourself out of doing the simple things. Brunson, Cat, pick and roll. I'm starting with that. So what are your thoughts on the game? But to me, that's what's glaring to me about this game to start.
I went into the series the most confident I ever have with the Knicks and their first round opponent. I called 5 games. I still believe we're going to win in 5 games.
Same.
I did not lose faith in Tom Thibodeau, even though I think he might have had his worst individual coaching game last game, game 2 against the Pistons in New York. It was a complete reversal of all of the experimentation and creativity we saw in game 1. He went away from a lot of it, went away from a lot of the actions that worked for us, went away a defensive game plan that really worked for us in that pre-switch with OG and Hart, went back to Karl-Anthony Towns as a rim protector, and it got Karl-Anthony Towns some uncomfortable positions.
Right.
Today, we went right back to the things that worked and added in some new sprinkles, things that he holds in his back pocket, like the pick and roll with Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, we know that has worked. What we didn't know that would work is actually blitzing Cade in a high pick and roll. That has been Detroit's light of the match. That's how their offense starts. Very similar to Jalen Brunson in New York, Luka in Dallas. That high pick and roll, which kind of allows an initial inertia to get everyone downhill based on what action succeeds that initial screen. I thought we did a really good job, not just blitzing smart and not fouling, but then recovering and playing the gaps really well, forcing turnovers, forcing the ball to be passed out of Cade Cunningham's hands and into 2 guys we preferred, Tobias Harris, Amen Thompson, not strong ball handlers, especially Amen Thompson, whose head by the 3rd quarter got completely taken out of the game. I thought the psychological warfare, that blitz on defense, was a Tom Thibodeau masterclass defensive adjustment. Game 3, all the greats have said in the past. Game 1, that's when the first set of adjustments. Game 2 are the adjustments to the adjustments. Game 3 is the adjustment that will win the series. That's typically what happens in game 3. We saw that tonight. Tom Thibodeau showed, JB Bickerstaff, I still have your number. I'm still your daddy. Knicks in 5.
Well said. The adjustments are the adjustments. Because now, do you have an adjustment for the adjustment for the adjustment? I don't think so. And to be honest with you, the reason why we should win this series is the reason why we won the games today. We just have more reliable personnel in that starting 5. Like it's going to be really hard for Cade to have a steady diet of generating offense for 4 quarters without having somebody else to back him up. You have Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to go in the heater, but he always disappears in big moments. Dennis Schroeder has been playing out of his mind. Tips your hat off to him. He's kind of stepped up, but it's like you're going to need other guys to step up for you and generate offense for you. And why people were so pissed about game 2 is because Jalen Brunson was generating a lot of offense, and we have pieces who can relieve him, and we never went to it. But today, we had multiple occasions where Jalen Brunson was just off the ball. McCall's bringing it up. Cool. Or you know what? Karl-Anthony Towns, game is on the line. They getting at Jalen Brunson a little heavy. We're going to go to you. Guess what? I'm going to hit you with the patch swing fadeaway in the corner. Let's go, Karl-Anthony Towns. Let's do that. We had numerous instances where somebody picked up the slack offensively. Mikal went on little runs by himself. OG had 20 points in the first half. And that's our advantage, and that's what we need to lean into. We need to lean into the team concept on offense and having our captains, Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, bring us home, and that's how he won today.
I also thought that we went away from we've never been a real heavy ball strain team. I think we're toward the bottom of the NBA in frequency of ball strains and points off of ball strains. Today, I thought we employed a very healthy diet of them, especially those ball strains, the continuation of them all game helped us stay on runs because you use Brunson, as you mentioned, off ball. He became a strainer today, where it's been primarily Josh Hart and Miles Bridges had been the strainers. Tonight we saw JB in strain action, and it helped in those pin down runs. Now, some of those pin downs got blocked. We weren't as effective in them as Detroit was. Those Beasley pin downs and Tim Hardaway Jr. killed us in the first half, but we adjusted. Today, to Jalen Brunson strains, I thought allowed other guys to have the ball in their hand, to gain rhythm, to become comfortable being on ball, which with 5 guys on the court who can all score, all but one at 3 levels, Josh Hart can hit threes, that allows Bridges, it kind of switches, and that's when we're at best. 1 quarter it's OG, 1 quarter it's Cat, 1 quarter it's Bridges, and then bring us home Cap, and Jalen Brunson does what Jalen Brunson does, which is win basketball games.
Now, you're right. Like that first quarter, especially that first quarter, you just saw a lot of off-ball screens. You saw a lot of the stagnancy. that we saw in game 2. We just didn't see it. We just saw a lot of off-ball movements. We saw Karl-Anthony Towns to the screen, run around, and then get a post on the other side, and then he ISO this man. Like when we wanted to post Karl-Anthony Towns at the beginning of the season, it was just like I'm just going to block when we would toss you the ball. It was like really simple. Today, Karl-Anthony Towns would set a screen at the top of the key, run around, go to the opposite side of the court. His man would get screened, and then he would post. It was like a lot more complicated off-ball actions to get everybody going, and that's what we need to do moving forward. Whether it be the Pistons, whether it be the Celtics, whether it be the Cavs, I don't know, but like that's what we need to go moving forward.
Jay, you know why that's such a, first of all, great catch. Second, you know why that's so brilliant, specifically in game 3, is because we saw the limitations that Cat had in attacking Jalen Duren. I'm not saying Jalen Duren has done a good job stopping him, but I think Jalen Duren watched enough tape and know where he lights the ball. And when those simple seals are attempted by Cat on these very easy elementary entry passes, it's fairly easy to guard because your defense is set.
Right.
You know where you are. The helper knows where he is. You're able to hedge. In this situation, when Cat running off ball, what happened? A lot of seals on Beasley, a lot of seals on Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yep.
And this time, Karl-Anthony Towns, I don't even think he saw him. I was going to say he looked at barbecue chicken. The plate was on the floor. Too small.
Yeah,
it was like upper, wet, all the way, bully ball, that K, like that pounding the rock in the paint and getting the easy layups. Beautiful. This is the type of shit that we've been talking about all season. And I think all of us were so frustrated because Tom Thibodeau knows more about basketball than all of us on the panel, everyone in the chat, times 10. The man's been a basketball lifer. Let's not pretend he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I think he keeps a few things in his back pocket based on matchups. He grinds a tape and realizes in the future, with the teams that could be potential playoff opponents, I'm going to keep these 3 or 4 options in my bag and employ them without the tape to counter. Listen, man, I trust Tom Thibodeau. We're going to win this series. Knicks in 5, man. I'm hype.
Yeah, I think we're winning the series too, for sure. Knicks in 5. I have not wavered. It's Knicks in 5 for me. One of the awesome things that I really liked, before the game even started, I already knew Jalen Brunson was going to get off the ball. Because he said it to the media. He was like, I have to get off the ball more. And I remember last season when I think we were playing the 76ers and we lost the game. And we had the same type of criticisms of him, like, damn, you need to pass the ball more, you need to move the ball around. And we said this right here on this program. And the next day, he actually started to pass the ball more and trust his teammates. And so I knew he would get off the ball and pass the ball more, and he did that today. He had 9 assists today. That's more like it. So we have to keep with that trend. And also, you've always been, Lee, you've been saying you wanted Cat to shoot more threes all season. He's had success with the trailer threes. I've seen Josh Hart in particular seek him out on fast breaks. I even seen him pass up JB to wait for Karl to give him a trailer 3 because it seems like that's when he's most comfortable shooting threes, when he's just kind of just running into it. And it worked for us a few times, even a shot from the logo. So like things like that to get Cat going is gonna be really big for us moving forward. Because like you said, Duren is not the guy who can really guard that 3 that well. And once he starts hitting a couple of those in a row, now it's gonna open up Karl-Anthony Towns' driving lanes, and it's gonna be a whole nother monster for the Pistons to contend with.
Another adjustment Tibbs did that you just reminded me of, talking about the volume on Cat for 3. I love the matchups. First of all, he employed the matchup of the double big with Mitch early in the first quarter. I love that he set the tone with that. Well, you have to adjust to our pace. Yeah. We don't be a half-court grind-out team. And what happens? Like 50 points in third quarter by the time the third started, we were still in the 50s. That's tactical. That was to control pace. And Thibodeau wanted to be a slow-down, grind-out match. But having Mitch in there, in the first and second quarters, he was setting a lot of those really high screens at the perimeter, which in a way, they were kind of a variation of a down screen. And then the defenders had to be like, oh shit, who is going to come off that screen and drive at the paint? So now their attention is on the driving lanes. Karl-Anthony Towns is still above the break. Now, here's the problem. He hit a lot of those. That's when we were on our run. Right. It's when that confusion caused him to be wide open. But there were some, I noticed this. And maybe I was high and I imagined it, but this is what I thought I saw. I thought I saw Cat when he missed. It was typically right above the break. Those rebounds, I watched 3 possessions in a row. Those rebounds would come out and they would set up all on the right side of a court. Tobias Harris took one of those threes.
Mhm.
Beasley took one of those threes. Tim Hardaway took one of those threes. All 3 made them. And I was like, huh. Second half, late third quarter, I noticed Cat didn't shoot from there anymore. Cat started shooting from a little bit more in to the corner, and it led to a different direction of the rebound if he missed, and it didn't put them in that situation where they had the route, the easy route to the spot that I think they're a very high transition team,
Yeah.
top 10 in the
They beat
NBA.
us in
So
points on
teams that are like
turnovers,
that, the
yeah.
Suns, the new Spurs, back in the day, the Warriors, the Heat, they had those spots on the court where Battier or Ray Allen would have run out to, James Posey would have run out to. This team has their guys, Tobias Harris, Beasley, and Tim Hardaway. Those are their 3 above the break guys. Cade is their pull-up guy. I think that route was adjusted by Tibbs to have Cat move and shoot further onto the corners to allow a different rebounding route to where they couldn't grab it and do the outlet and have easy transition points. And if you think about it, the transition points we saw from the Detroit trying to adjust the tempo really died out in the fourth quarter. And they stay in the game by clutch shot making, which you live with that. But
Right.
stopping their easy transition and letting them dictate the pace, I thought Tibbs did a masterful job of adjustments here and there throughout the game that maintained a low-scoring bloodbath.
If that, I don't know, that's some 3-level chess if he's changing the way where he shot the ball to.
It was something I noticed, and I was like, if my layman ass is noticing it, it's probably intentional on Tibbs' part. Because if I'm seeing it accidental, Tibbs is probably like, actually, son, I did that on purpose. So listen, Tibbs, I trust Tibbs, man. This series, he's got JB Bickerstaff by the book.
Yo, JB Bickerstaff is a crybaby. Oh my god. Yo,
someone make the meme.
Oh my gosh. For someone I can't believe this guy actually went in front of microphones and said he likes the way the games are being ref. Like, I'm like, do you see yourself all game? Like, what the hell? I've never seen a coach complain so much in my life. Oh my!
That one with the call, the over the back that he thought it was when the ref was explaining his face. For someone screenshot that and put it on his shirt. I need that shit. That's a new meme, man. New meme on deck.
New meme on deck. Yo, you know what I love? You know what I enjoyed about this game? Watching Paul Reed trying to push Mitchell Robinson and Mitchell Robinson not even noticing that's happening.
Yep.
That was hilarious.
That's our dog, man.
Yo, it is like Paul Reed is like full steam leaning over trying to push Mitch Robinson, and Mitch is just standing here like, huh?
Yep.
Like, and he doesn't even notice it. And to the point where he's still trying to push him, and Mitch is kind of just moving along like nothing is happening, like this is little nephew or whatever. And then Karl-Anthony Towns pushes him away, and now it turns into a kerfuffle, and there's like technical fouls delivered anyway. But I'm like, man, Paul Reed, like, I'm sure you're bigger than I am, but man.
Paul Reed had one of the best games maybe I've ever seen of him in the playoffs, ever. This might have been his best playoff game ever. I thought he was highly effective. I'm glad we got him in foul trouble because he was giving him some offensive rebound, and chance opportunities. But that moment showed not just like the mentality and how badass Mitchell Robinson is against any opponent. Paul Reed, Embiid, it don't matter. Knicks and 3. That guy is such a beast. Mitch is such a beast and so composed that he doesn't lose his. A lot of centers, they get sucked into the mind game. Right. Like, yeah, Paul Reed. We'll trade Paul Reed for Mitchell Robinson if both of them get tossed out or ejected. Hell yeah. I like that Mitch never plays into those games because he understands that his body in itself is a weapon that they can't counter. Even if Isaiah Stewart is healthy, there's no one on that bench that counters him. There's maybe like 1 or 2 guys in the entire NBA that can counter what he brings. And him paired with Cat allows him to be such a lethal threat, whether he's guarding the rim one-on-one or he's a weak side defender. Any action we try to put him into, he affects the game. Honestly, I think more than any Knick I've ever watched. Ever. I feel the most confident when he walks into the game.
It's funny because during the Karl-Anthony Towns Mitch minutes in the fourth quarter, I feel like momentum was starting to shift to us again. Yep. And then Bickerstaff put in Tim Hardaway Jr. So Tibbs was kind of forced to like take Mitch out. But like that's the type of stuff that I wanted to see more of. It was like, okay, when you got Duren in there, and you have freaking Tobias Harris guarding Cat, let Mitch go at Duren. Let him, because Duren was his son and Josh Hart, who we should talk about after this. Mishby, I mean, Derby shunning Josh Hart on the boards for the most part. So you just want another big body over there to make him sweat and make him push around a little bit.
Yep. Agreed. And this was a game, too, where Tibbs had the luxury of experimenting because of how Karl-Anthony Towns was dominating whatever coverage Bickerstaff threw. And he threw a couple different looks. Cat got those switches on the guards. That was Cat off-ball movement. But the plan for Bickerstaff initially was starting with Duren. That didn't work. Then he tried Tobias Harris. That didn't work. Karl-Anthony Towns was on his bully bad game. We had discussions in the chat. I'm not going to mention names who was saying it. It was a KOT chat. We were having discussions on, is this team as tough as last year? I think yes. Tonight has showed it. And the person I was debating with agreed with me. It's more about the regular season. But in the playoffs, he agreed, yes. In the playoffs, we have been very tough, determined, defensive-oriented team. And I love that about it because even though Hart and Devo aren't here, I think McCall Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns have played their asses off and have been solid defensively, even more than they've both been offensively. McCall Bridges' string navigation has been the best it's been all season in this series. There was a dip-off after January. I don't know if it was fatigued or what, but his string navigation started to get pretty poor going into February, into the end of the playoffs. It's back, lockdown defense. It's allowing OG to play some off-ball, to cause that chaos as a free safety because Bridges is maintaining Cade in front of him and using his feet and positionally. I love it, man. The guys are abusing their mismatches. No one can guard. There's no guy on our starting five. Okay. There's no guy in 4 out of 5 starters that can be stopped by any of their personnel. We have a counter for everything they throw at us except Josh Hart.
Yeah. McCall Bridges, 3 steals, 2 blocks, had a couple of chase down blocks from behind. I don't even saw just chase down blocks, but blocks from behind on Cade Cunningham. Was really engaged today, made a couple of back-breaking 3-pointers. This is the type of McCall Bridges that I like to see. Engaged defensively, offensively. Exactly. Like all that. Hey, when you started doing all the pointing, and yeah, I love that. I love that energy. Even in the first half, like he wasn't scoring a lot. He only had like, I think 8 points or something in the first half, but I still loved the way he was playing that first half.
Me too. His defense has been exceptional.
Yeah, it's been really, really, really good. And then he's been good. OG's been good, and Cat and Brunson brought us home. But I also want to talk about Josh Hart real quick because I really laid into Josh Hart last game, and Josh Hart said, "Jay Ellis, shut the hell up." Right? Jay Ellis, shut the hell up. I know you only wanted me to play 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but I'm here today. And another Tibbs adjustment. It felt like Josh Hart was playing point guard for like a quarter and a half, where, you know what, we're not going to let you sag off of Josh Hart really, because we're going to have him bring the ball up and we're going to run the offense through Josh Hart for big instances. And so now it's like, all right, you're not going to double off of JB or Cat to continue with Josh Hart if he wants to drive in the lane. It kind of changes the dynamic of Josh Hart a little bit. So I liked how they used Josh Hart as a playmaker. He had a lot of assists in that first quarter and got back to the rebounding that we're used to seeing him, even when playing against a taller player. So good bounce back game for Josh Hart.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the few strategic elements he kind of gave away, is that he's going to have more Jalen Brunson off ball. So it made sense that of the starting 5 unit, it made some most sense with Josh Hart to play the facilitator mode and allow JB to be an off-ball screen setter. And it worked tonight. We allowed some moments where we didn't guard the curl too well. That was at the one play I think that killed us more than anything, was the Beasley curl, and Tim Hardaway ate a little bit off of that as well. And then Cade is just a pull-up threat. I mean, Cade's been unbelievable the series. I hope once the series is done, then I'll talk about him. I'm not going to waste valuable post-game playoff pods on talking about the opponent. But yes, agree. Josh Hart, awesome in that regard. I thought he was most important as an offensive rebounder. The toughness that I was arguing that I think this team does have, the last team was so known for, to me, the heart of both seasons, pun intended, is Josh. Josh was the one I remember leaping up for offensive rebounds, fighting in a crowd, highly contested percentage of rebounding rate. That's Josh Hart across the board. Those rebounds to me were the most bat-breaking. The anticipation, knowing how to box out and use other guys to refrain from being able to have an angle at the ball and getting it himself, that really killed their confidence in the fourth quarter and caused them to be more sporadic in their putbacks and their second chance attempts. They were messy because Hart is such a rhythm killer on the defensive end. great game. He did only score 2 points. As long as he's passing, rebounding, and playing good transition defense, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, and as long as he's not a liability on offense too. I mean, when you have him playmaking, you're not paying attention to him being left open for threes because now he's playmaking. So like
Right.
you don't see him sagging off. So it just works better for the eyes, I guess, when he's kind of playing kind of point guard.
Yeah. And Tibbs is smart. He's not having him brain up all the time. He'll have Brunson brain up, give it to Hart, and then Hart initiates a set. So that way it's not like, oh, let's trap him at the half court line
Right.
and try to force a turnover. Tibbs is smart with it, and so is Brunson.
Absolutely, absolutely. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Yo, if you're liking the show, hit that like and subscribe button, man. We're here after every game talking Knicks basketball. We're here enjoying a win today. Game 3 in the books. I know some of you guys are nervous, or maybe you guys weren't nervous. Maybe you guys were just like, you know what, it's one game lost, and we're gonna pick it back up. And that's exactly what happened. We picked it back up. Let me get to some super chats, and we can get some B type of conversations as well. Because we talked about the main guys, really. But shout out to Gamer Channel, who sends a $20 super chat. For those of you who don't know, he has vowed to donate $10 every time Karl-Anthony Towns gets a block. So thank you, Karl-Anthony Towns, for producing defensively in this series and getting some blocks every game so far. I appreciate that. All right. So he says, that's the aggressiveness we want, Cat. He showed up big time tonight. Brunson, aka Mr. Clutch, doing what he does. Mikal, good game. Tibbs, great adjustment with throwing a soft trap on Cade. Betting on Hardaway Jr. beating us. Yeah. Yeah, betting on Hardaway Jr. beating us for sure. And finally didn't leave shoulder open for threes at the end like that.
You know what though, Jay? Like, the reason I've had a lot of confidence in this team is I'm watching a lot of guys I've watched for many years.
Yeah.
And I have seen the sample size. It tells me these are not guys you can bank on to win this playoff series. Cade Cunningham is emerging as a absolute superstar. There's a chance. I think he'll be an MVP candidate next year. I think he might even be top 5 in the NBA next year. I think he's that important. It's just so obvious the fall off after him with the rest of the roster. Dennis Schroeder's been traded 3 times this season for a reason. There's a reason why. He is a burner in small sample sizes, just like Tim Hardaway Jr. But the majority of the time, they're a liability on defense, not necessarily because they're unathletic. It's more about their IQ defensively. When the Detroit misses a rotation, typically it's because of either Schroeder or Tim Hardaway Jr. And second, they're 2 guys that think they're better than they are, so they take a lot of shots that are Jalen Brunson shots, that are even McCall Bridges shots. They're cat shots, but they're not Schroeder and Tim Hardaway Jr. shots. They're low percentage, difficult ISO one-on-one moves. And when you do that, you ice out the rest of their team. You can live with those shots. That's why I think Tibbs doesn't call timeouts when it's one of those 2 guys go on a run, but he does when it's Beasley or with Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham pick and roll. That's when he calls timeout. And I mean, again, you're talking about Tom Thibodeau. He knows what he's doing.
I mean, he did call one timeout when they were up 4 and Tim Hardaway Jr. hit like that 3 and he started hopping around. He did call a timeout, which I thought was good timeout because it stopped the momentum. And we got right back
to one. Agreed.
Yes,
I agree.
And we took right after we stopped the momentum and the cloud, calmed down a little bit. The adrenaline stopped. We got the lead back again. The only other time I was really concerned was maybe as we were spamming pick and rolls with Cat and Brunson. They were spamming pick and rolls too, and we couldn't stop that play for like a good 6 or 7 times to start the third quarter. So I was like, uh-oh, what's happening now? In my brain, I was like, Mitch, get in here. Mitch, get in here.
Yes.
And I feel like the first time we actually stopped it is when Mitch got in the game. And I think he got like a steal off of the pick and roll. And it kind of broke the momentum and we started to swing back the other way, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the number one move that scares me from them and their entire arsenal is the pick and roll between Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren is such a great role finisher He's unbelievable, and Cade's one of the best lob throwers. It's a very highly effective shot that becomes even more highly effective when Duren and Isaiah Stewart are in at the same time, and you have both of them in position to catch the lob. That's really what their offense is at their most dangerous. That high pick and roll just sets a screen that allows Duren or Isaiah Stewart to roll down the middle. They use their size, their strength, and both have pretty solid lateral movement. Better than a Precious, not as good as a Cat, but they become really severe lob threats, both from far away with really long lob passes, but also close when you start doubling Cade at the rim, and he's able to give a really nice, easy chip pass to Jalen Duren as the backdoor cutter. So if we can limit that, and Tibbs has done a great job limiting that overall, because the way that we're losing or losing the lead is by wide open, super clutch, low percentage shots from Shooter, Cade, and Tim Hardaway.
Right.
That's a great defensive game plan.
For real. Only thing I would say, the things I would clean up for next game. The points off turnovers, we go on these little runs where we don't turn the ball over, and then we just turn the ball over consecutive times and let them back in the game. They had 18 points off of turnovers to our 9. So that's something we need to kind of clean up. We won. This is little nitpicky stuff we want to just touch on. 2, I will say the pick and roll defense. As always, we got to get better at that. We can't have them do that same play 7-8 times in a row without adjusting. So that's the second thing I feel like we should look out for. Third is not really an adjustment per se. It's just our bench in general. We had the one game with Campaign have 14 points. Campaign today, after Campaign today, he was a little spark today. But I'm still looking to see what's going on with Deuce McBride, who seems to still haven't really found the rhythm. He's kind of been on a short leash. That's the guy I was really looking to give us a good 10, 15 points off the bench. He gave us a clutch 3 in an important moment. That's about it. But I was hoping to see a little bit more from the bench with Deuce, Shamet, and Payne. Anybody outside of Mitch, we know Mitch is going to give us something. But I just wanted some more scoring from one of those guys.
What was your first thing that you want to see cleaned up?
The points off turnovers. Like we go on these runs where we turn the ball over. We'll take care of the ball for a stretch, and then we'll go on these runs where we just turn the ball over for like a good 5 minutes and let them back in the game. Yeah. And I think we need to be better at controlling those turnovers in those moments, because they outscored us, I think 19-8 in points off turnovers. Let me check again just to make sure.
That's a good catch. I'll follow up on that, because I thought about that too, and I don't think that's because they had more opportunities. I think they converted them better. They have faster, better athletes than we do, and they get down to the other end of the court way past our defensive ability. We're a poor tradition team. We've been a poor tradition defensive team under Tibbs for the majority of his tenure. I think for us, we stopped our own selves. Josh Hart had a couple turnovers in those fast breaks that blew it up. OG had turnover in the fast break that blew it up. I think Brunson was stuffed at the rim on one of the fast breaks that blew it up, where he could have passed off of Josh and he chose not to, and he got stuffed. I think OG got stuffed or blocked on one of the fast breaks as well. So it was a lot of us stopping ourselves than like them just executing better or stopping us, in my opinion. I think that's something that can be cleaned up. And I think the momentum will help us once we're back at MSG and we close out on Tuesday. I think we'll start getting the fast break a little bit more under wraps. So we've been actually pretty good at that all season. OG been effective. Hart is always effective. And Bridges has been pretty effective too. So that's not something I'm super worried about, but it is a good point because it's been an advantage they've had over us. We got to find a way to get back in front of them on defense. I'm not really sure how you do it. Maybe you try to goad them into threes by playing certain routes and lanes to get back on defense. But man, when they're going to the rim, everyone's hard to stop. Yeah. Cade's damn near sits at 7. Duren's a beast. Tobias, I don't know. I don't know if we can stop them. But at least maybe we can goad them into taking really low percentage 3 points above the break, which is not their strength.
Yeah, Tobias stopped themselves. Like he had 0 points for like a half and finished the game with 5 points. So you like you said before, there's the veterans. You already know from their past experiences, they're not going to be the guys to get him over the hump
Facts.
consistently, it's going to have to be Cade to do
Facts.
that. And that's a lot
Yep.
to ask for a guy who's first year in the game.
Yep.
I feel like he's had like one good game in the playoffs, like in the clutch area, really. Like everybody's like, if you really think about it, it's been like everybody else but Cade. I mean, Cade has the assist. Don't get me wrong. Cade has the assist and he has the points. But when the game is on the line, I feel like it's been Beasley, it's been Schroeder, it's been like other guys and not necessarily Cade. And I feel like Cade has to be the guy to really be that consistently for them to beat, to do something. And I don't know if he's going to have the legs to do that.
I think that's by design. As Damer Channel said, it's that blitz that we've been using in crunch time to force someone else to beat us. And the only one that I think can really beat us in crunch time is Beasley, if it's a three-pointer. Because he is the best three-point shooter in the entire NBA. So, I mean, yeah, that's the one other person and one other shot that is a real threat beyond Cade in the closing moment. So if you can guard those two actions, I'll live with anything from anyone else, which is a pretty good luxury, which is why I thought 5 games. Because as you said, those 3 veterans, the book is out, and the book is like 10 years of game time.
Facts.
It's like Schroeder, Tim Hardaway, and Tobias Harris. These were guys that were throwaway trades. They were dumped on Detroit or the last bottom of the barrel free agents in Tobias Harris' case. So I'm not scared of them, and Knicks aren't scared of them. And I think you'll see that next game when I think we don't blow them out.
I think we should get the next few wins and yeah, I think they won their last game. That's just
Yep.
me.
Me too.
I think they won their last game. I think we figured it out. We know what to do. Share the wealth. Play defense. Stop the turnovers, and we'll should be good to go. That's how.
I'll make one more comment on your bench thing. Deuce has had his moments. Payne has been the best off the bench thus far. Deuce had a solid moment today. It's funny. I texted in our group chat, "Where's Deuce?" And then all of a sudden, he hit a shot. I was like, "Oh, there's Deuce." All right. To me, the most disappointing, Landry Shamet, bro. Landry Shamet's been absolute cheats. Honestly, he must not be practicing well either, because Tibbs is not even employing him. The super short leash. Any type of turnover, missed rotation. He's yanked and he doesn't come back in. So these starters are playing a lot of minutes, but if there's ever a time I don't give a damn about that, it's the playoffs. Each game matters as much as a next. And at this point, we need to close this series out fast to rest our guys. So I'm not real concerned about 38, 39 minutes for Brunson. This is the playoffs. This is when that matters. But we do need, in the next round, those 3 bench guys to produce if we have any chance against Boston. We can't play the same way against Celtics as we are Pistons, with our guys all over playing over 37 minutes. We need Shamet to play 15. We need Deuce to play 20. We need Payne to play 15.
Good points. All good points. Hold on a second. First, let me shout out TikTok land. I know TikTok and YouTube is watching. I see. Okay, shout out to Brown Breed since '87 on TikTok who's rocked with us. Hit that. Follow us. We here after game talking Knicks basketball. If you're enjoying the content. Also shout out to people on YouTube who are watching the show as well. Hold on, I have to shout out Sandman. Wait a minute.
Me too. I was just about to do that.
Oh,
just about to do that.
Sandman, hold the presses, gave Josh Hart props.
Game 1, he gave Tibbs props.
Yeah, so I don't know who hacked him, but he might be hacked. But Sandman says, gotta say, that as the biggest hater of Hart, he played good deep for the first time in God knows how long. The Hart steal on the attempted Tobias Harris post up was clutch in the fourth quarter. Really liked it. And Josh Hart, to me, I feel like I feel like Josh Hart was mailing it in parts of the season.
Agreed.
He was mailing it in parts of the season because the effort he's giving on defense, in the playoffs has been pretty good. I think he was just ready to go.
I got a nasty hot take. I think Brunson's defense the last 2 months was better than Hart's consistently.
I agree with you.
Hart was a weak link.
He was a weak link to me. True. Even though Brunson, fourth quarter defense, there was a play where Brunson was left on the island with Cade and got a stop on the fadeaway. So Good defense, Brunson today on Cade with the game on the line. So everybody had moments, but Josh Hart for sure did really, really well defensively today. Sure.
Karl-Anthony Towns, another great defensive game.
Yeah.
Shout out Cat, man. Played bid ball. Like my man was defending the rim with force. I think Detroit is starting to respect him a little bit more as a rim protector. He's starting to defer a shot. I think this Nets team is so smart. They're not after the flashy block. They're more after adjusting and deferring shots. And Cat is becoming adept at that. In this series, he's starting to understand his opponent and know where to be, when to be in order to affect the flow of their downhill. And that's that's their strength. You take that away from them, they're fairly beatable unless they're getting hot from three.
Yeah, it's like as long as he's not in the pick and roll action, he's solid. Like
he's been decent, and I think he's kind of been decent pick and roll too, bro.
Yes, but that third quarter they spammed the hell out of us in pick and roll. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why I'm saying it. But also, I can also say like he had some big blocks in the fourth quarter too as well. He's had some good steals when he switched on to guards. He's had some good moments on defense. He's had a lot of good moments on defense. Like he hasn't nearly been as bad as he's been all season, for sure. For sure. He stepped up his productivity defensively during playoff basketball. I will say that. All right. Shout out to our girl Ebony. I see you in the chat. He says, Cat looks so much more comfortable. Definitely next to Mitch, able to roam and whatnot. Yeah, that too. The Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson big lineup is nice. It is nice. We like to see it.
I love it.
All right. Any other comments you want to point out, Liam? I know I probably missed a lot. We over here been yapping.
Man, I just appreciate the mods who have held down all season. Jean Mart, Gregory Lee, of course, number one super fan, Pitch for Timmy, and the greatest mod in the game, the fifth Beatle, the mod god, Fritz Alessandor. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you to all you guys for holding down the fort all season, moderating, blocking, spamming, muting when needed, but also dropping a lot of positive comments and making sure the conversation flows in the chat. We appreciate you.
Definitely appreciate you.
Oh, and Glamour. We need to make Glamour a mod too.
Glamour's not a mod?
I don't think so. I don't think I remember seeing a wrench next to her name.
Are you sure?
Ebony needs a wrench too. Ebony's in the chat. She needs a wrench.
Oh, yeah. I guess Ebony does need a wrench.
I think Felicia Lee's earned a wrench as well next time she's in here.
Good catch. Good catch. How do I say?
Listen, Sam, man, you keep with these solid takes, man. Maybe one day you'll get a wrench too. Who knows, Sam, man? Anything's possible, like Garnett said, man. Oh, Felicia Lee's got a wrench now. Hell yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, Felicia's been rolling. For sure. All right. Do we need to get the ooh picks and bro picks? I'm trying to look for something. Let me see.
I take my
says, let's go, Knick
Pitch.
Nation. Peace to Jay Ellis, Lee, Ed Ryan G, Mod, Good God, Fritz.
Pitt saying I'm glazing him, so I'm taking my compliment back.
Yeah, look, Glamour has a wrench. I know I'm not.
Oh, okay, all right, I was wrong.
I was like, what?
My bad.
You got me.
My bad.
My memory bad, so my memory is bad. Okay. All right. You can get to the ooh and bruh picks right now. I already know where I'm starting.
You want to go first or me?
Listen, I'm okay. For the guys who don't know ooh and bruh picks are, ooh picks are usually good plays you want to point out and say this is dope. It's sensational. I want to point it out and give it a ooh. It don't really have to be a play. It could be a player who's been performing well that you want to shout out on a Knicks or another team. I like to shout out the Knicks because it's a Knicks channel. But also bruhs are also an idiotic play that you want to point out, or it can be idiotic take that you think is stupid or dumb, so you just want to give it a bruh. So I'm starting out with the Pistons arena. I don't know in what world do you have a clock malfunction during a free throw that negates the missed free throw from Brunson. That then gives the Pistons the opportunity to call a timeout to even attempt to play to win the game with 0.5 seconds. Like the fact that that wasn't even a thing was a tremendous blunder. I hated that whole thing. Like I'd much had rather JB shoot another free throw than give the Pistons a side out, because that is just nerve wracking. That seems like they were just really trying to rig the thing. So that whole scenario with the horn malfunction in the playoff game at the end is a big bruh for me.
Good one. I'm gonna shout out Bedonk, Shannon Sharp, man.
Oh,
man. Everyone knows the controversy. I'm just gonna bow down to this, man. Cat Williams tried to warn you, man. Those white women out there, they can be poisonous. Let me tell you, I know from personal experience, they can be poisonous, man. You gotta watch yourself, your P's and Q's. You gotta be on guard. You gotta protect your wealth, man. Especially those white girls that are on OnlyFans. Those are truly the devil. Stay away, Unk. I hope all the allegations aren't true. I would hate to see you go down like this. I've always appreciated the realness that he's brought, even though I hate his Lakers takes. Listen, man, you know, if it's true, my heart's out to the person that he abused. But if not, Unk, bro, you gotta do better, man.
Dog, somewhere Dr. Umar is calling him right now. Stay away from the snow bunnies, man. Stop bunny hopping. That's what happens when you start bunny hopping.
Just remember, snow bunnies are about 5 to 7 years away from being a Karen. So remember that. While you're enjoying them as a snow bunny, just remember they're a few years away from being a Karen. So keep that in mind.
Right. And not only, I mean, listen, well, I don't know what she looks like, so I can't even quote Belle DeVoe because you said that girl is poison, and I was gonna say you can't trust the big butt and the smile, but I don't know what she looks like, and who knows. But one thing I will say, I don't know if she just has a smile or what, but the one thing I will say is this. Bro, for the Unk, bruh. Just to the fact that homegirl is 21. Dog, you're like 58.
I'm not going to fault him on that. I mean, I get it, man. It's advantageous for both parties involved. Both benefit.
Does he benefit? They don't look like he benefited to me.
Well, you hope the end result isn't a $50 million lawsuit and a ruining of your career. You hope the benefit is just some fun time. People are like, what are we talking about? They're talking about stats.
Listen.
What do you think they're talking about?
I'm gonna teach you something, Lee, real quick, to keep yourself from being the next Unk. All right? Since you think this is okay.
I do. I'm not faulting
a dude who is 60 years old talking to a woman that's 19, damn near out of high school, barely knows algebra. Do you think she really has interest in you?
No. I don't think she's really interested. I mean,
right.
It could be.
Let's start there.
I think some are truly interested.
Mm-hmm.
Women are attracted to maturity, sustainability, stability, and the older guys typically have that better than the guys.
Yeah, older, like maybe like 4, 7, 30 years older.
His millions don't hurt.
And that's my point, Lee. The millions don't hurt. She don't want you with Grandpa. She want the millions.
But he wasn't trying to wife nobody up. He was there just for the fun too. That's why I said it's mutually beneficial.
It's not mutually beneficial because she's trying to line you up.
Well, once a lawsuit comes out, definitely not mutually beneficial. I think that arrangement,
I'm going to hold you.
General,
I feel like any girl who's speaking to somebody who's 30 years older is just trying to line you up.
Yeah, she's an OnlyFans model. That's like her MO.
Yeah,
right?
well,
you should have known better.
Clue number 2.
Yeah.
So
there's a common ground.
The signs are all there, is what I'm saying. The signs are all there. If you're going to talk to a girl who probably won't find you really physically attractive because you're 30 years older than her, you might be a lineup. I'm just saying.
Yeah, maybe. I don't hate when older cougars when I date younger guys. Got lots of gay friends. The age is very prominent in gay relationships. There's always a very older bear and a very younger twink. It's common.
Yo,
The only time it ever gets criticized is when it's an older dude with a younger chick. I think it's right perception. I think some people get weirded out by it. I get it. But to me, that situation, if the lawsuit hadn't happened and abuse hadn't happened, I see how it's mutually beneficial. There's a whole industry of sugar daddies and sugar babies for a reason.
Yeah, or because they want the money, not them. That's
Right, yeah. Most men understand that. Most. Some don't. Some are delusional.
Somebody give somebody like you is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. Depends on what you're looking for. Everyone's looking for a relationship. I think Uncle just wanted some fun time.
Oh God, Lee. KOT chat. The way Lee's talking, you might have to get these super chat bales ready because I don't know the way he's talking.
I don't have Unc money. Don't worry. I don't have that.
The way he's talking,
his PM money.
He's gonna be next.
Can't afford shit, bro. I don't think OnlyFans models are going to Chicken Express with me.
I don't know, man. You might catch an ESPN link one day. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh man.
Oh man. Oh man. All right. Well, that was my bro pick. Back to basketball. Ooh pick. My ooh pick has to be the Karl-Anthony Towns shimmy hewing fade away in the clutch moments in the fourth quarter.
Beautiful.
Beautiful move.
Yep.
That's my ooh.
Nice to have that done for us, not to us.
Lewis said he's not my unk.
I agree. He is an old simp, 100%. 100% agree with that.
Oh man. Oh,
Fritz said Unk was a PP loan she was looking for.
Oh my. Fritz said grown women want the cash stimulus as well. I'm not doubting that. Anybody can want the cash stimulus. I'm just saying the probability is way higher, is what I'm saying. Anybody can want the cash stimulus, but when you're 30 years older than somebody, the probability of them just wanting you for cash stimulus is way higher.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Definitely agree with you on that.
It's not your personality.
Yeah. If you're a smart guy, you know that, and you're self-aware.
Yeah.
If you're not, you don't get caught up in a case for sure.
It's not your charming good looks either.
Yeah. Hell no. It's not your Viagra or your Rogaine.
Exactly. Felicia Lee says shark crazy anyway. Some of the things coming out, spit in your face, calling you the N-word. Read the CAEJLS and Lee. It's crazy. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's probably the worst part of it all. I mean, outside of if he was abusing her.
Oh, I didn't even read that.
Yeah, there was like race play involved, which I've never understood, but I'm glad I understand it.
Right. Well, yeah, you deserve that, bro, for sure.
For sure.
And who picked
for sure. I think his career is over, bro. Personally.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Do you have any ooh picks?
Oh, yeah. I did a new pick. That I'm actually happy to say. I've always not trusted Jalen Green, but damn it, yesterday he looked awesome.
No, he did.
That was the single best game of his entire young career. I thought initially him and Cade were going to have a similar ascension, and he just couldn't put everything together. He couldn't put the defense with the offense. He went ISO too much, didn't know how to play off ball with some gun. Last night, it took a Jimmy Butler serious injury for it to happen, but he had the opportunity to have free lane to the rim, and he had some poster. Remember how Slam used to have the pull-out posters back in the day?
Yeah.
It was like you would open up and you would see the full dunk. He had like 3 of those last night that were like pure Vince level posters. I hope he puts his whole game together. They're like 1 or 2 veteran moves away. They did Durant this summer. They're a contender next year because Green looks awesome on and off ball. Y'all know I love Sengun. That's my main guy. And I love Ime Udoka too. Houston looks very competitive. Shout out to Jimmy Butler. I really hope he doesn't have anything serious.
Yeah.
He did not come back in the game. They looked at the reports of the injury were pretty gruesome. He could be out for the entire series and maybe even the next one based on what I'm hearing.
Oh, man.
I hope that's not the case because I picked the Warriors to win the series. But Jalen Green, there's silver lining, a young kid's chance to emerge and make a name for himself. And I would love to see that from a man, because most of what he's been known for this season is getting owned by Drea Mitchell. That's the opposite situation of an old Cougar and a 22-year-old guy, 21-year-old guy. So that's what he's been known for. But hey, man, make a name for yourself on the basketball court. The Rockets look really dangerous.
They do. They definitely do. Oh man. So okay. All right. I'll take it. And I agree with you too that his crossover looks crazy. His crossover step back three is insane. His athleticism is crazy. Yeah, he's been really well. He had a really good game.
He could easily be if he has the package, right? Like the art type to be a top 10 player in NBA at any given time. He just hasn't put everything together. This last game looked like he might have found it.
Right. Okay. All right. I feel like I talked about everything I need to talk about.
Yeah.
Ebony says her bro pick is the NY Giants.
You lost me.
I don't know what happened.
Bruh.
But I'll honor it. All right.
Ebony says Jalen Green has to learn the game. He has all the tools. I agree, says 100%.
Definitely has all the tools.
100%.
All right, yo. I feel like that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add.
Felicia Lee says the injury to Butler was caused by Draymond Green pushing a Rocket player into Butler, which is true. It ended up being Amin Thompson who fell into Butler, and then Butler fell right on his tailbone. But the reason Thompson fell into him is because Draymond Green was pushing him as a bots out, a illegal bots out of the paint. So Draymond really incidentally caused the injury to Jimmy Butler, which, I mean, how many stains on one man's resume can someone have like Draymond Green? But
yeah, rough. All that
disgusting.
I mean, that kind of sucks, man. It kind of sucks. I like to lose because I feel like that could change their series, and it's like I hate when you beat a team and they're not full strength or they missing key players. It just doesn't feel the same. Kind of like how we lost last year. That's why, like, when we lost last year, it was a bitter taste because I still feel like, damn, we had our full team last season. We would be, I don't know.
I'm not proud of saying this, but I mean, was kind of rooting for Jimmy. I've never liked Jimmy his whole career, never been a fan, but he was such a good fit in Golden State. He had re-energized Curry, who was kind of checked out before that trade happened. It re-energized him, and they had great synergy. Defense, they were a defensive beast. From when he came on, they were top 5 defensive rating. Yeah. For him to go down, man, he became the emotional leader of a team. It sucks. I wanted to see them make a run. This is probably their last year.
Yeah.
To be competitive.
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean that.
So I can't believe I'm saying it.
That run, and now this year's going possibly next year. That's rough.
Prayers up for Jimmy. Yeah, can't believe I'm saying it.
All right, yo. That's the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Salute to Gregory Lee, Gamer Channel, East Blue, Felicia Lee, Predicate, We Survey, Hungry People, Nick Yak, Sandman, Glamour Knicks, Fritz Alessandor. Everybody's rocking with the show. Also, if you watched the Knicks Nightcap, it was a good show. Shout out to those guys who did a good job.
Yes, it was.
I didn't catch it last night, but I caught the replay. Also, shout out to Fritz, did a really good job on that show. Fritz, I see you, man. I see you dropping gems on there, man.
Yep.
Good stuff, Fritz.
That's my guy.
Fritz is slowly sharpening his tools and rounding into becoming a pretty good podcaster, commentator, whatever.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Proud of my guy. I've been challenging him in the chat, man. He's defending his takes. I love it.
I see.
That's
you,
my
Fritz.
dude.
I see you, Fritz. All right, yo. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Lee, let them know they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at _Lee Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO. Also, shout out to Predicate. Go follow him, man. Great takes. Some of the best ball knowledge on Twitter is my main man, the Predicate, who's always here in the chat for KOT Show. You can find him at YodaFresh1, YodaFresh1. YodaFresh1. Go follow the Predicate.
All right. Curly 745. Is that my Curly? My Curly from my old school, my old writer Curly. They went back in the bag they used in the Cavs series against JV. Let someone talk ball and let JB initiate the offense. Also, Cat and OG coming out aggressive. Yeah, Yeah. Yo, Curly, are you Instagram Curly who used to write for KOT? Is that you, Curly? If you hear me. In the meantime, you can listen to it. Find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Knick of Time Show on Facebook as well. Also, if you want to listen to us on TikTok, we are also on TikTok as well. So shout out to you people rocking on TikTok. Okay. All right. Shoot. Trying to see if Curly can hear me before I log off. See if it's the right Curly. But if not, I'll just end the show. Testing 1, 2, 3. Great show. Thank you.
Thank you, Felicia. Appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. Oh, well, that's it, I guess. All right. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
shout out the worldwide west. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. We out this mug. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.